So, I travel quite a bit, and I get asked this question a lot. Michael, can you help me with my pitching? I keep thinking about, I've been told all the time, I gotta turn my chest through the strike or whatever. We have all these different thoughts, and they're not working. So I got this thought that I want to share with you because I think this is going to help you. This is, I don't want to call it a last resort, but certainly a different thought. And that is this. We talk about side bend. I shared with you in prior videos what side bend is. Side bend is just your shoulder, your left shoulder or your right shoulder going to your left or right hip. So if I'm left side bending, my left shoulder goes down to my left hip. If I'm going to right side bend, my right shoulder is going to go down to my right hip. And so this would be, for me, a right-handed golfer, trail side bend, and then lead side bend, okay? So what I like to share with, if I have some individual struggling with their body movement through the strike, I like to talk to them about lead side bend. Now, when we make a golf swing and you take the club back, you're in, at address, you're in a forward bend. Well, that forward bend as you make a golf swing actually shifts into a side bend, right? So at the top of a golf swing, go face on here, Gibbsy. I'm no longer bending towards my, bending at the hips or at the waist that way. I'm actually tilting this way. So this bend is gone, but now down the line, this bend exists. I don't start with that bend, but I get that bend as the club is moving into the backswing. So I get side bend as I go into the backswing. So what I want you to do when you're hitting this pitch is I want you to get comfortable with side bend. Now, this may feel like your head is going forward in the backswing, and I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't go backwards. So if you're going to get this, which is fine, side bend, now keep your side bend. So we go lead side bend and then side bend. Now, what's going to happen when you do this is you're going to have a very steep angle of attack. That angle of attack right there was significant, probably 11 or 12 degrees, okay? And the reason why you're going to get that is when you go into this down the line view, when I take this side bend and I keep it, now my trail shoulder stays really high. Go face on here on this one, Gibbsy. Now it goes, look at how much I'm leaning forward. So when I'm leaning forward that much, I've in effect moved the ball back in my stance. And now the club is coming down on top of the golf ball, and it's going to be steep, which means I'm going to hit the ball first, and the ball is going to roll out. It's going to launch low. That one launched at 22, so not very high, okay? If I get into a trail side bend coming through a shot like this, and I go here, now it's going to jump up into the air. I'm probably going to hit it fat, but it's going to jump up into the air. That launched at 38 degrees, and my angle of attack was not really an angle of attack. It was an angle of ascent. It was kind of going up in the air. So what I want to do is I want you to feel you get into side bend and then you maintain side bend. It's a very, very different feel. Side bend and maintain side bend. And when you start to do that, you cannot believe the amount of spin you're going to be able to get on the golf ball. You literally can't believe it. That one there spun at about 62, 6,300. The launch angle's at 27. And this thing is piercing out. Now, it will start a little bit to the pull side, and you will have a little bit of cut spin on it. That one had about 450 RPMs of cut spin on it. It will do that. But what you're going to find is, you go, man, I'm hitting the ball first. I've never done that. Because what you're doing is when you get into side bend here and then you stay there, look at the impact in the ground. It gives you, I don't know whether you've got enough time to be able to do this, take a 5 and get it low down there. But when I get here and then I start to swing through with that side bend, my golf club is getting into the ground right around that lead foot. I'll do it again. You can see it's getting into there. So stay on this shot. And now what happens is that you could see I hit the ball first, and then I got into the ground. So when I come up to this one, that shot that I just hit launched at 16.5 degrees. I mean, that's too low. It still had 5,000 RPMs of spin, but that's too low. I don't want that. But I'm making a point. So you get side bend, and then you keep it. Just feel like you're still there, like that lead shoulder is close to that hip, and then it stays close to that hip, and you're driving that into the ground. It'll be loud when you're doing this in the mats because the angle of attack is so steep. Okay, so side bend, keep it. Side bend, keep it. Side bend, keep it. Oh, I pinched this one. That one there had a lot of spin. That's about 5,900. And that thing launched at 26 is fantastic. Now, the last part of this, and I say this all the time in these short game videos that I create because I really believe in this. I don't like to see square club faces. I like to see open club faces. So what I want you to do when you grip it, just grip it a little open. I call it 5 after. Just grip it a little bit open, side bend, and keep it. And this spin will go up. I hit this a little bit farther than I wanted to, but look at the spin on that. That thing stopped like crazy. Now, a little bit farther than I wanted to hit it, but that spin went up to 7,000 RPMs. That ball carried 35 longer than I wanted. I get it, but only rolled out about 9 feet, maybe 8.5 feet. So that thing was grabbing into that turf because of that side bend maintenance. So what I want you to do is maintain that. Get that side bend here and then maintain it. I think maintenance is the right word there. Anyway, what I want you to do is focus on getting that lead side bend, almost like somebody is pushing on your lead hip. It drops that trail shoulder down, so when you go into the backswing, you're doing this, and then you keep it, and at that point, you're moving the low point forward. You're going to increase the steepness of the shot, so the angle of attack is going to be going this way. That ball is going to launch lower. That one launched at 27. All those things around 26, 27 degrees of launch. It's going to launch lower. It's going to have more grab to it, more spin. You're going to gain some real confidence with your short game. Lead side bend. Get it, keep it, and you'll improve. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.